Ce que, ce qui, ce dont, French Relative Pronouns Part 3 with FrenchSpanishOnline.com. In the previous lesson about pronoun in French, you remember that we saw how to translate sentences like the man who is near the door, the man who is near the door. And to translate who, the relative pronoun here in English, we use qui for two reasons. First reason is that who here is the subject of the second part of the sentence, of the verb to be, who is, and also who refers here to a noun, to another noun in the sentence, which is man. For these two reasons, we use qui in French, and we get l'homme qui est à côté de la porte. So the same thing with que, the house that I can see, so that here is translated in French by que, because this time that is not the subject of the verb can, the subject is I. However, that refers to another noun in the sentence, which is house. So two reasons to choose que and to get la maison que je peux voir. So actually, when can we use ce que and ce qui in French to translate the same English pronouns what, which? When the pronoun what and which refer to no noun in the sentence. In this case, we are going to use ce que or ce qui. Let's take this example. What I love is a good meal. As you can see here, what does not refer to any other noun in the sentence. It is alone. So, to be sure we are going to use the correct pronoun in French, here you can see what is not the subject of the first part of the sentence. The subject of the verb to love here is I. So for this reason, we are going to use ce que. Ce que j'aime, c'est un bon repas. We could follow the same structure and say ce que j'aime est un bon repas. So just one sentence. But actually in French we love to use this expression c'est. Let's take another example now with ce qui. What interests me are holidays. So here, as you can see, what refers to no noun in the sentence, it's alone, and is the subject this time of the verb to interest. So we are going to use ce qui. Ce qui m'intéresse, c'est les vacances. Another point here, just to say, actually, to clarify the point, les vacances are plural, and we use here a singular verb. Why? It's a tendency actually in French. We can say ce qui m'intéresse, ce sont les vacances, with a perfect matching verb, the plural as well. But in French we can actually use c'est with plural, with singular, with everything. Ce qui m'intéresse, c'est les vacances. It is correct too. So to summarize what we've just seen and before doing some exercises, so we use ce que to translate what and which when the pronoun in English refers to nothing in the sentence and is not the subject of the second part of the sentence. We use ce qui when the pronoun refers to nothing and this time is the subject of the sentence. Is it clear for you? Let's take some example. Do you know what I would like? Do you know what I would like? So let's follow our rule. What here refers to no noun. Actually, here we have a verb, but absolutely no noun. So we are going to use something like ce que or ce qui. So how to know? What is not the subject of the second part? The subject is I. For this reason, we are going to use ce que. Sais-tu ce que je voudrais? He took what I said quite well. The same thing actually, we have the same structure. What does not refer to any noun and is not the subject. So, il a bien pris ce que je lui ai dit. Il a bien pris ce que je lui ai dit. I told him what I really thought. What is, of course, now you understand, ce que. Je lui ai dit ce que je pensais vraiment. Or if you want to use here an abbreviation, je lui ai dit ce que je pensais vraiment. It means exactly what it says. So here, what does not refer to other noun. Here we have an adverb and here we have a verb, but it's not a noun. And what is not the subject of the second part of the sentence. Again, ce que, ça dit exactement ce que ça veut dire. You will never guess what happened. Here, as you can see, is different because what is the subject of the verb to happen here. So we are not going to use ce que. The second part of our rule is that here what does not refer to any noun. So we can use ce qui. Tu ne devineras jamais ce qui est arrivé. I know what will happen if I tell him that. The same thing here, same structure. What is the subject of the verb to happen and does not refer to any noun. So, ce qui. Je sais ce qui arrivera si je lui dis ça. I don't know what's wrong with him. So, can you guess now how to translate what? If you follow the rule, you can see that what does not refer to any noun and is the subject of the verb to be. So, je ne sais pas ce qui ne va pas avec lui. You can also say chez lui. Je ne sais pas ce qui va pas chez lui. What is said is said. Is it easier for you now to understand how to translate what? What is said is said. Ce qui, of course. Ce qui est dit est dit. Please read what follows. S'il vous plaît, lisez ce qui suit. What really matters is, so here we have an adverb, but what is the subject of the verb to matter? So again, ce qui est vraiment important, c'est pay attention to everything that is going on. Here, how to translate that? That here refers to everything, but everything is now a noun here. So pay attention to everything that is going on. We are going to use ce qui. Fais attention à tout ce qui se passe. The cat that is on the table. So that here is the subject of the verb to be, the second sentence. So what are we going to use? Ce que or ce qui? Pay attention. That refers here to a noun, the noun cat, the cat that is on the table. So we can't use ce que or ce qui, but just qui, le chat qui est sur la table. And this was the subject, the topic of the previous lesson. A point of pronunciation. To translate what is good for the client is not always good for the seller. So now you know how to translate what, because what is the subject and does not refer to any noun. So we're going to use ce qui. Ce qui est bon pour le client n'est pas toujours bon pour le vendeur. But instead of saying ce qui, we have an abbreviation which is ski. So when we speak, we say ce qui est bon pour le client, ski. And it may be confusing. Let's see a second example. What it's doing is not my business. So to translate what here, you know that is ce que, because what is not the subject. The subject is he. But we have ce qu'il fait ne me regarde pas. And as you can see here, we have an apostrophe because the subject starts with a vowel. So we say, instead of ce que il, we say ce qu'il. And when we speak in a conversation, we say ce qui fait ne me regarde pas. So actually, the same abbreviation, ce qui fait ne me regarde pas, ce qui est bon pour le client, etc. So it may be confusing because if you hear this sentence, ce qui fait, you may think of ce qui, but actually no, it is ce que il. So it's better to follow the rules and not the French pronunciation. Let's see now, to finish with our lesson, the use of the expression ce dont. When do we use ce dont instead of ce que or ce qui in a sentence? You remember that we use don, the pronoun don, with prepositional French verbs using de as a preposition. Let's take an example. This one is interesting because actually it's the same in English and in French. This is what I'm afraid of. The prepositional verb in English is to be afraid of, and the preposition is of. To be afraid of in French is avoir peur de. So the preposition is de. And we are going to translate this is of what I'm afraid in French. So we will say c'est ce dont j'ai peur. As you can see here, the preposition de disappears because de is included in the pronoun dont. C'est ce dont j'ai peur. Ce dont is of what? Let's see more examples. What I'm proud of. Again, here we have to be proud of as our prepositional verb in English. The translation is French is être fier de. So again, the same preposition de. So the translation will be ce dont je suis fier. We add a final E and a grave accent on the first E if you are a girl. Ce dont je suis fier. What it is all about. Here you can learn this expression by heart because it's very useful and it's a colloquial expression. Voilà ce dont il s'agit. Voilà ce dont il s'agit. What it is all about. Voilà ce dont il s'agit. What I need is love. This expression is interesting because in English there is not a prepositional verb, but in French yes, because to need is avoir besoin de with the preposition de. So that's why in this case we have ce dont j'ai besoin, c'est d'amour. And we use ce dont because again the verb is avoir besoin de, and in French it is a prepositional verb. Okay? I hope it's helpful for you to understand how to use these relative pronouns in French. C'est fini. Thank you for watching this slide with me. If you want to see again this video and read the whole script of the lesson, you can go to FrenchSpanishOnline.com. It's free. Au revoir.